What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Card Hedge Podcast. I'm your host, Omar, aka Retro Hoops. I got my man JD with me. What's happening, Big Papa?
What's up, brother?
Dude, I am limping to the end of this week. I'm
Same.
Tuesday I was dead practically. Wednesday I was dead, but I could move my feet. And then finally yesterday I was able to get up and walk around. Had about 20% voice, and then finally today I woke up, I hit you up, I was like, hey brother, how you feeling? And you're like, man, I feel like crap and a half too, but we have a duty
to the
our
people.
And I listen, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna put myself out there on this one and say this, because I hit you up this morning and I was like, yo, how are you feeling, man? Because I know you were kind of down in the weather. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I think we should just hold off and kick off an episode for the new year. And you, my man, which I appreciate, said, no, Bubba, put your big boy pants on.
Yep.
Find us get us a StreamYard room going, and let's get this cracking. So I appreciate you dragging me through it, because otherwise I probably would have just laid in bed today. But
yeah.
we have an obligation.
Yeah, we gotta talk cards, baby. It makes you feel better.
Cards, man. And I got, dude, you got some pickups. I got some pickups this week.
Nice.
That I'm pretty pumped about. Rocking my Card Hedge.
Oh, nice.
Card Hedge hoodie that you sent. Dude, you sent me this hoodie like a year ago, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Man, you sent me this like a long time ago. Before I was
I have mine too.
Before I became, partnered up with you guys and everything, I always rocking my Card Hedge merch. Dude, it is cold. Well, cold for me, but it's in the teens today. We're part of that Arctic freeze going on, so everybody in Texas is at a standstill today. We don't know how to act in this kind of weather. You guys are used to it.
No, well, like I was telling you before we came on, we have like some major storm thing, like pretty much hurricane strength stuff, 75 mile an hour winds. My trampoline in my backyard, it gone. My basketball hoop in my driveway, gone. It's like all blown over. Not like gone like Wizard of Oz, but like completely like my trampoline is like completely hanging over the fence.
Oh, wow.
And my basketball hoop, which broke last weekend, the backboard anyway. I need to get a new one.
It's time for a new one.
Yeah,
time for an upgrade.
Toppled. So,
yeah, dude, it's I was watching a video last night. So last night was supposed to be the worst part, right? Last night was supposed to get down into the teens, and then this morning we were supposed to wake up in the teens and so on and so forth. But we were kind of prepared. I have a bunch of like Ryobi batteries.
Yep.
And I have, we have power stations and things like that, little power packs and things like that kind of ready. And we weren't anticipating using any of it. And literally within 5 minutes once we got into like the 20s, like 5 minutes into that, lights go out in my house. And we're like, crap. Now we got to try, we got the kids are freaking out. And, so we ended up setting up camp in the living room. And just as we were getting settled in, about to go to bed, boom, lights kicked back on, and then we were fine. But man, it's been a hell of a week, dude. It's been between me being half dead since Tuesday. I haven't. But you know what's funny though? I no matter what, I on eBay looking at cards, trying to figure out, on the Facebook group, trying to see what's
looking for deals.
Looking for deals.
Same. I was doing the same.
Half dead in my bedroom on the floor.
Yep.
Just looking at my phone, scrolling through, seeing what's going. Made a couple of deals. So,
hey, did you see? It's been making the rounds. Some dudes opened a box of Exquisite last night.
Yes,
and hit the LeBron RPA.
The LeBron RPA.
Sick.
Somebody said it's a $500,000 card. Is that still $500,000?
I think it's got to be a couple $100,000. I don't know when the last time there was a sale. It's not like I can't play in that sandbox, so I don't pay attention.
Me neither.
But I would think it's at least $250,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think so, somewhere around there. Yeah, I saw that. Matter of fact, I was scrolling through today on Instagram, just trying to get caught up on messages and stuff like that. And I saw the video. So what was that? A group break? Just somebody bought a box.
I muted so you don't have to hear me blowing my nose.
Yeah.
No, some guy had a box from forever. I don't know, whatever. And they opened it up. Third card in, bam.
Wow, dude. See, that's what I want to do. I want to do box breaks like that. But then, like, you know, like obviously I'm not gonna spend, you know, what's a box like that up to 50 grand now or something like that?
Oh God, probably like $500,000.
Crazy.
400 G's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, we don't play in that arena, right?
You know what's funny? Like years ago, like going back 10, 12 years, my card shop had like 2 boxes of exquisite basketball for like $500, $550.
Jeez, man. But at the time, it's like that's a crazy price. At the time, that was a crazy price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Hobby boxes were $40, $50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a hobby box of hoops back then was, you know, $75 at the most.
Yeah, if that, like probably like $40.
But that was for the jumbos though. You remember they used to do the jumbo hobby boxes? Yeah. Those were like $69.99, $79.99, something like that. And if you bought one of those, that was like, oof, like that's a gamble. You know what I mean? So to drop $500 on a box back then was
like
a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah, that's like guys paying $1,800 for the NT or the $4,000 for the National Treasure and all that. Just like, man.
Yeah.
Again, bro, not an arena that I play in. I own maybe, I'd say about half a dozen National Treasure patch autographs, and it's all from the Rockets. And none of them are Akeem Olajuwon. So it's like Sam Cassell, National Treasure patch autograph, Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, you know, that kind of stuff that, you know, I was picking up for, you know, $5-10 or whatever for a card, but it wasn't too bad though. But yeah, I saw that. That's pretty dope that they're, you know, there's still stuff like that out there. You know what I mean?
Still out there, still lurking.
It's still lurking.
The problem with the exquisite from that year too, though, like the guy was saying, I didn't know this. The MJs are a redemption. So you hit an MJ auto, you're screwed.
But that's Upper Deck though, right?
Yeah.
They're still around, aren't they?
I don't know if they're honoring them.
You would imagine they
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's the 2000.
I wouldn't want to find out, dude. You know what I mean? The LeBron's obviously the big card, but
yeah,
I'd take an MJ.
Oh yeah, for sure. Exquisite basketball. Let me see what these boxes are going for. Yeah, because I've had this idea in my head, bro. I don't know if you've heard me mention it on the channel before, but I've had this idea of like fronting the money for these big boxes, you know, boxes like that, and then, you know, selling it off at a group break. I mean, I'm not trying to make any money. I just want to open up some of these boxes, man. 2011, 2012 is 10 grand is what this guy's asking for this box. Let me I don't know. I just like I'm looking at some of this stuff and I'm like, that would be kind of cool, but then at the same time I'm like, I'm not dropping this kind of coin. $8,500 for a 06, 07 basketball, which 06, 07, what is that? That's nobody.
Who's in there? Like what's his face?
06
card there for the Bulls. Is that Derrick Rose?
Okay, Derrick Rose is actually I think you might be right. 03, 04, 65 grand.
Yeah, so 65 grand. I mean,
so you got to imagine
is that on bids?
No, this is best offer.
Best offer.
Yeah, 6,500, but 65,000 best offer. Curry rookie, 09-10 exquisite with a possible Curry rookie asking 50 grand, 47. So yeah, I mean, you know,
it's mad loot.
That's like you said, man. That's like it's an arena that I don't play in, man. Pickups. I got an interesting pickup this week, but I went first last time. So you're up.
All right.
On pickups.
So I already did. I had an SGC order come back. 11
Saw
cards.
Your video on that.
Yeah, I already showed that, so I'm not showing it again. This card I got.
I like how you did that video, by the way.
With the
PowerPoint presentation.
That's
pretty dope.
Try to do it a little differently, show the people.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a minute because there's something I just definitely want to talk about from there. This one I just grabbed, cheap, $16 or something like that. Saquon Select Silver Prism, rookie card.
Nice. Is that die cut?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Premier level.
Yeah.
Whatevs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This one I did a video on this guy. I think right now Quentin Byfield for the Kings. Their number 2 pick last year in the draft. No, 2 years ago in the draft. No, last year's Upper Deck. He's struggled a little bit, but the pedigree's there. My man's 6'5", 220. PSA 10s are like $60. So
imagine that guy skating at you at freaking 15 miles an hour.
Exactly. I just run.
Forget that, bro.
So I grabbed one of those. I just figured, you know what? If he gets hot, gets called back up, it's a card that could take off. And $60, what the hell? And then our boy came in.
Yep.
Zion.
And so we'll get into what he's doing right now when we look at the top movers because we're doing pretty good.
That's it for me.
That's it
for me. Yep.
All right. So I actually bought this card and it came in this eBay authentication thing, so I bought the card and I didn't expect for it to go through this process. And it took almost like 3 weeks for it to get to me, which
it's a pain in the ass.
I don't like that, dude. Like there should be, especially for this card. So, I picked this up and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the presentation's kind of cool and everything. Yeah. You get this little thing and then you open it up and all that stuff. But this is a Kenyon Martin Prism Gold Shimmer to 10.
Ooh.
No, a lot of people don't know about Kenyon Martin right now. You might
Junior, right?
Yeah. Sorry. No, this is Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin Jr. plays for the Rockets. This kid plays like he's, I mean, I don't know. He's got to be what, 6'3", 6'4". He plays like he's 7 foot. This kid. I mean, just completely, he's dunking over guys that are like a foot taller than him.
Yeah, he plays like his dad.
His
dad was fierce. His dad was fierce, man.
Exactly. Ooh, see, JD, you know your basketball, brother.
Come on, guy.
Yeah, man. Kenyon Martin was a beast.
Yep.
And so anyway, his son plays just like him. He's just as fierce, just as fearless. The kid's a banger in the paint, and he's built like a point guard. I mean, like.
Yep.
Anyway, I love the kid. I think he's a great player. Obviously, I'm a little biased because he's on my Rockets, but I think the Rockets have done really well over the last 3 or 4 years, picking up some really solid rookies.
Yeah, they get some talent.
And anyway, I saw this one, Gold Shimmer, and made the guy an offer, but apparently what I paid for it put it into this authenticity guaranteed or whatever. So I was a little annoyed, man. That's kind of annoying. You should be able to like decide like, do you want that authentication or not? Like I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait an additional 2 weeks for my card to get to me. Just to authentic. Like nobody's gonna be ripping this off. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Who's gonna be trying to make a fake Kenyon Martin Prism Silver? I mean Prism Shimmer Gold. I got my boy too.
Nice.
My little PSA 10. Zion got a bit of an experiment going on, so I'll do a video on that at some point this week. On the other one, and then I picked up a Şengün. This is the premium factory set, so these are kind of funky to get. PSA 9. I picked it up for a song, so you know I have a man crush on Şengün. So
yep.
Now,
nice.
This baby right here is the one.
Oh, there it is.
This is Sky. Well, no, this wasn't Skybox, was it?
Yeah, molten metal.
It was still Skybox. Okay, so I already had this one. I sent it off to CSG, cracked it, and then this one came up for sale in our 90s group. What's the guy's name? Shout out to that guy. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, shout out to the 90s group. I'll put a link in the description. Such a dope group, man. I love that group.
It's the greatest group ever.
Yeah, if you're in the 90s basketball cards, I'll put the link in the description. One of the best groups, man. Bunch of guys in there, got a lot of good stuff for sale. Anyway, pick this up. It was a PSA 7. Which not, I think there's only one in the pop report, there's only one higher, and there's only, I think the pop report on this is like 3 or 4. But I already had the regular one, so I picked up the titanium. Super pumped to have this card. Had to break the rule a little bit in terms of spending, but very, very happy to have this card.
Yeah,
both of them are going off to SGC to get graded to be in matching tuxedos. And I'm just pumped. I'm pumped to have this card, dude. This thing's dope.
Money, dude. Those are money. Money. Yeah. It's funny because I saw them and I was gonna buy that one, but I tagged you like the good human being that I am. Instead of buying it.
When you tagged me, by the time you tagged me, I was already trying to deal with the guy. But dude, once I got it in hand, man, you would figure that it wouldn't be that much different from this one, but it's just in a league of its own. This card, the titanium, the gold finish.
Those titaniums are so rare. That's the thing, man. Like, people just don't realize what's out there in the wild.
Right.
And how freaking rare some of this stuff really is.
Yep. And then there's another set of titaniums that are numbered to 40. So the first 40 are numbered.
Yep.
So if you find one of those, man,
some are numbered, like some are supposed to be numbered and they're not numbered properly. Yes. Some are numbered to 250. Like it depends, like Jordan's to 40. There's some, there's all different stuff out there, but it's 6 set.
I love the set in general. The set by itself was pretty dope. Like I said, I'm gonna do another video at some point during the next week because I've been a busy boy. These are all crack.
Nice. Wow.
I've been doing some cracking.
God bless you, man. I'm afraid to crack. Like I just know my luck. I'll slip and cut the thing in half.
Yeah,
I just know it. Doesn't matter.
I've gotten it down. Don't get me wrong, JD. I did that to a couple. I did that to a Luka rookie, hoops rookie, where I was using the flathead screwdriver, and just trying to, and then, and that was it, Papa. It was that card. I damn near sliced it in half, man. I was devastated.
Yep.
I was hurt. But
that's why I let Bobbles do my cracking if I crack, because he's a pro, so I'm not worried about it.
But I think I kind of got it down to a science. The proper tools is always important. This thing right here is like a lifesaver. Like you can't really. It's like an angled. It's like an angled O-ring pick. This thing is like the best because it gets in there only like a 1/4 of an inch, and it allows you to kind of like torque it and crack the seal as you go along. But these two things right here are like my go-tos. So, but that's it, man. That's all the pickups for this week.
Oh boy. I love seeing it, buddy. I love seeing you expand your wallet a little bit,
Well, I had to for that one.
You gotta do it. Yeah, that's the thing, man. There's certain times like when I bought that Lynchpins KG. Yeah, like you just go get it,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I've been selling a little bit on eBay, kind of moving some of the non-PC stuff. I'm really trying to get to a point to where I'm moving everything that isn't Penny, Kemp, or Elijah or anything Rockets.
Yeah,
and trying to move all my football is what I'm trying to do because I like don't get me wrong, I love football, but I don't really just collect football like that, and so I'm really trying to move a lot of that stuff. So I had a little bit in the kitty, and I figured, man, when do these things come up? They just don't come up.
They don't. That's why I was like, damn. Even like the other gold refractors he had.
Yeah.
Like he had some nice ones, man. KG. If it wasn't Christmas time, I would have bought them both.
That's the thing, bro.
I kept going back and forth, and then I was like,
Yeah. I'm in the same boat.
I had to finish up some Christmas shopping and things like that.
Yep.
And then it's like, I don't know. But those cards, Joe, they just don't come up.
They don't come up, and when you buy them, typically the prices are relatively stable.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I got a good deal on it, but it's still within market. Yep. I mean, and the guy was pretty firm. He was like, "Hey, man, I'll give you a little bit of a deal, but this is go find another one, You know what I mean? Like,
right.
and good
Right.
luck with that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep. No, I hear you.
yep.
Cool, man. Well, good stuff.
Let's
All
take a
right. I
look.
got a couple topics in the old dome piece this week that we can wrap up we got next week too, but for Christmas, let everybody ponder around the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one, right? We don't have to spend a whole heck of a lot of time, but I want to talk a little bit about peripheral grading companies or some of these smaller cats.
Mhm.
And one in particular that I think is gaining a pretty good like following.
Mhm.
And it's is it FCG or FGC? What is it? FCG, I believe.
Forensic
Grading
card
company. So
grading.
forensic card
FC.
grading,
Yeah.
FCG.
I've heard a little bit about them. You know, every time I do a video on, you know, one that isn't, say, the 4, right? I mean, and I think you and I can both
forensic
agree,
card
right?
grading,
Yeah,
FCG.
yeah, FCG. I think you and I can both agree. The 4, PSA, SGC, BGS, CSG. Those are the top dogs. And then you have HGA, in my opinion, as an honorable mention because they're still providing something that no other company is providing. But in the past and recently, I've done a couple of videos where I've been reviewing some slabs from some of these other companies, like you mentioned. And every time I do a video like that with an oddball company, I always get the same response. Oh, you got to check out Tag. 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 And then the other one that I get is FCG or FGC or whatever. Forensic card grading. Which I'm like,
So
okay. I got to have a reason to go there, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, like I've been talking to the guy Matt who started the company, is the owner or whatever, a little bit here and there. He invited me into their group. I've been in their group. It's just about 7,000 strong in there and whatnot. And
Wow.
I gotta say, they get like people like them. I have one of their slabs. I bought a cheap Prism Big Poppy card that like an insert that I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The slab is very similar to PSA as far as thickness and that the label's black and it's got the QR code that gives you the grading report, which I like. You don't have to pay any extra for that. It comes, standard and whatnot. But like my question is, in 2023, do we see how much growth do you think there is in a company like FCG? Do you think they're like, I'm not talking, is it ever going to get to the level of PSA?
Yeah.
Right? But
you're just talking about relative growth.
Yeah. Can they compete with the BGS, SGC, CSGs of the world? HGA, or is their market, are they like the next tier down? HGAs, FCG, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What do you think? Just curious.
So no, that's a good question. I mean, here's my thought on all this, and this is what I was gonna kind of like what I was getting to when I was talking about how people, whenever I do, like recently, I did the Arena Club slab review, right, and then I did the Tag grading slab review. So as I get my hands on these, don't get me wrong, I'll do the review on the slab because I'm very much interested in how those things kind of are done. But for me, they're like, to me, I think HGA was the only grading company that did two things that put them in a really good position to be added going forward as relative grading companies. Number one, Tyler at the time when he started the company put a lot of money into it. Like he went hard, and he invested a great deal into the company, into what it was going to be, what it was going to do. But more importantly, they offered something that no other company was doing, which was the custom labels, right? So they carved out a nice niche for themselves, and it's on that niche that they're still not only around, but I was looking at and I was just trying to find it right now. Grunt Dad Sports Cards, I think, is the one that does he still does the weekly grading numbers. And they're doing some pretty good numbers.
Right.
And so the reason why I'm talking about HGA and answering your question is because outside of that, there really is no other company that's going to bring anything specific to grading, right? Like the grading reports, like that's great, but Arena's doing that. Like it started off with the TGT guys, right? That started doing the grading reports and all that stuff. And now that's like been those guys are now partnered up with Arena Club. That's the whole thing there.
Yep.
But going forward, in my opinion, in order for a grading company, whether it's new, and by new, I'm saying like they're still like 18 months, or 2 years.
Yep.
In order for them to grow, I don't think there's any room for growth. I mean, PSA is at $15, right? SGC is at $18. BGS, I don't even know where they're at. And CSG is at like what, $12 or something like that if you submit 50.
Yeah, through the end of the year.
Yeah,
actually,
so like
it's even less than that now.
Yeah, but my point is that at the time when the 3 big dogs were like at $75, then yeah, maybe you had an opportunity to differentiate yourself based on pricing. That doesn't fly anymore, right? So now you got to go off of your recognition, and you have to go off of your pedigree as a company and what your reputation is. And so these companies like the FCG, FGCs, and
FCG. I know, I do the same thing.
Yeah. I'm dyslexic, so that makes it even worse. Like those guys, Tag, and some of these other companies that are kind of still. If you haven't made a name for yourself by now, and you haven't differentiated yourself as a grading company that's offering something that none of the other ones are, then I mean, if you're managed to pull a profit, great, but I just don't see any of them even sniffing jock straps of the top 5 at all.
So I some of what you said I totally understand and agree with. I do think that like a company like Tag, like the last time I checked, tell me if I'm wrong because I don't know, but they're like $25 a card to get graded.
Yeah, probably.
I think, right? That's what I saw they're promoting and whatnot. I'm not spending $25 a card.
I'm not when I can spend 18 at SGC.
Ever. Right, 18 in SGC or 15 or 18 at I'd send a PSA, which I wouldn't do. I'd send a PSA before I did that, right?
Yeah.
So like that part, like the price, yeah, I agree with like, it's tough to compete when, PSA's got millions of dollars and billions of dollars and Steve Cohen and Nat Turner have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
SGC, seems to have some pretty good cash in the reserves and whatnot as well. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought we would have saw another price decrease, maybe down to $15 by now
for SGC.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey, I'm sending 10 cards in every other week. Like, and it's
exactly.
Cool. Like,
yeah. I mean, I got an order that's coming today, and then I got another 10 that's going out next week. So
right,
yeah,
so
but I think we still do that because we know we're gonna get those back.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
And we know we're gonna get a good grade on them.
Yep.
And we know that the market is smartening up, right? Like that's why, even though they're still in the $18-$20 range, it's kind of worth it, in my opinion. I mean, like I at least for me, right? But I mean, ultimately, if you keep going down that path, right, the next one is CSG.
Yeah, and like so my point was why I asked the question. I personally think like when I talk about room to grow and things like that, I think every day that someone has a bad experience with PSA, it's an opportunity for one of the other companies to earn a new customer.
Agreed,
and let's face it, every day there's multiple people that are having a bad experience with PSA or whatnot. And again, they're the they're the main, right? They're the majority.
They're the big
So
dogs.
every day as that iceberg starts to chip off a little bit, some of these other companies are picking up the pieces, right? Whether that's BGS, SGC, CSG, whoever.
Right.
How, like, again, and without, I guess it's probably a good thing to just ask the guy to come on the podcast to talk to him, because it's I like to learn about it and what they're doing and things like that. I do think there's a place for like some of these companies. Like, I think like an FCG is one that sticks. I think Tag, just because of knowing some of the people that are invested in that company, I don't know, there's money there. So, how long do they want to kind of go through that money? I don't know. But and then, the other ones have basically endless supplies of cash.
So and I'm with you. I think so. You made a really good point, right? Every time PSA screws up, or every time PSA pisses off a customer for the last time, right? Because that's happening daily, right?
Yep.
Where somebody's going, you know what? This is stupid. I've been screwed over by these guys so many times. I'm done, right? And they're finding new places to go, and it's usually SGC or it's usually CSG, right? And I agree with that 100%. And I think that is absolutely, I agree with you also that it's absolutely an opportunity for some of these other companies. But I think PSA is such a juggernaut that an SGC, a BGS, a CSG are going to all take that opportunity before any other company even gets an opportunity to look at that, right? I mean, because you're right? I mean, PSA is pissing people off by the dozens every day. But if you're a longtime Lexus buyer and Lexus pisses you off, you're not going to go get a Hyundai, right? I mean, you might make a move and go get maybe a BMW or a Cadillac or something like that. You're going to get something that's in the range, right? But you're not going to get pissed off at Lexus and then go buy a Honda, right? Like, I mean,
right.
And again, listen, I know I'm coming off as like really dismissive of these newer companies, but because if they're making a profit, then more power to them. You know what I mean? Like, get your money. Right. I'm not knocking. Like, if you're out, like, I'm looking at again, shout out to Grunt Dad Sports Cards. I'll link them down in the bottom. I'm looking at his Pop Report update. Tag is only graded 1,500 cards.
That's it.
That's what's in their Pop Report. 1,500. Like, I mean, how sustainable is that, right? That can't be too sustainable. On the other hand, HGA in 2 years have graded almost 500,000 cards.
Right.
I mean, that's 500,000 cards. That's serious revenue.
That's nothing to bat it, poo-poo.
Yeah, and they've only been around for 2 years.
Right.
You're talking some serious revenue in a matter of 2 years.
Yep.
Which is why they had kind of had some institutional money come in and go, hey,
Yeah.
We like what you guys are doing.
I mean, but that's the other question too, right? Like, kind of begs the question of, I don't know. Like, to me, I like the American dream story kind of thing, right? Like you don't like the way things are going, start your own crap.
And
exactly. I respect that. Like I don't have the reserves to do that. So
that's what Card Hedge is all about.
It is. And like, I don't know. I don't like to poo-poo the small businesses because I really, like, I say to people that say that, I got an idea, you go do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, that's kind of where I'm at. And that's what I was getting to, of like the constant like shitting on other companies and this and that.
Yeah.
Like, I got an idea, bro. Go start the company.
Yeah.
You think you can do it better? Go do it. And oh, by the way, I'll check back in with you in 3 months.
Yeah.
See how it's going, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And it's not like, sports cards are not a what's the word I want to hang on, let me think of a word. Sports cards are not a user friendly or I don't know if that's the term, but open-minded. It's not an open-minded space.
No, which is why PSA is still PSA.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's
And if you have an open mind, or you're a free thinker, or
right.
you know, it's like it's weird. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know. I've just never seen anything like it. Like every other thing in the world, every other industry, you're encouraged to innovate, to get better, right? Like that's medicine. Imagine if medicine just stayed the status quo.
Stagnant. Yeah. We'd be dead.
Sorry, you got to amputate your leg. We can't go in and oh, you blew out your ACL. Sorry, you got to cut it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like even the ACL surgeries, right? You used to get a scar like that big.
Yeah, a gnarly scar down the middle of your knee.
Now it's like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, if everything can innovate and improve, what's like.
So that's my point, JD.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
But... No, you're making perfect sense, brother. But I think you're making. I feel like you're making sense. I know what you're saying, right? My point, because I agree with you. I agree with everything that you just said. I agree with you. But that's my point when it comes to these new grading companies, right? Is that what are you bringing to the table? What's the innovation?
Right. Yep.
Right. Like Tag, right? Tag is saying,
I think here. Wait, let me cut you off. Yeah. I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
Here's the innovation: consistently grading your cards accurately.
Yeah.
And getting your goddamn cards back in a friggin' decent amount of time. If you can do those two things, you're gonna do all right.
But here's the thing.
That's the key. That's innovation.
No, to me, that's not innovation.
Yes,
that's
what
you should be doing in the first place.
Right, but here's what I'm saying: the big dog that people friggin' love. Yeah. Right, I just blocked out like 55 F-bombs.
Yeah.
People just sit there and suck it.
Yeah,
wait.
I know.
And it's like, what the? Like, if you went to get your car, you know what I mean? Like, you bring your car in to get an oil change, and 6 days later, you're still sitting in the goddamn waiting room.
Yeah. There's a problem.
You're gonna be, I'm gonna wait because they use the greatest synthetic oil on the planet because my car is gonna, when I drive off the lot, it's gonna be worth 20% more. No,
yeah.
The logic in this space is ass goddamn backwards.
Yeah,
it's ass backwards.
But that's my point, though, is that I mean, so I'm a big, I love Eddie Murphy, right? Old school Eddie Murphy, where he was like, if you're starving and somebody hands you a cracker, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is the greatest cracker. That's the greatest cracker I've ever had. Only to find out that you're just like, oh, these are just saltine crackers. I was just really hungry. And that's what happened, right? People were getting their cards for 6-8 months at a time. And then somebody comes along and goes, hey, I can give you your cards back in 30 days. And it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? Because at the time it was unheard of. That's what got SGC in trouble, right?
Is that not that to me, maybe it's not innovation, maybe it's flat out customer service.
Yeah.
Or you're innovating on the process to make sure that the people are there to meet the demand of the consumer.
Yeah, but I don't think that's an innovation, though. I think that's somebody taking advantage of the fact that the big dog is asleep at the wheel.
Could be. It could very well be.
Right.
But you also have to be able to scale and innovate and
yes,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
To continue to stay relevant.
Yeah.
To continue to be, like, so my point with all this, and innovate could be the complete wrong word, but for whatever reason, that's what I'm going with right now. But to me, again, I just go back to, if you're gonna pay for a service that you're expecting A and you get B consistently, why do you continue to pay for A to get B when you could go over here and pay for A and get A? If I order a pepperoni pizza, I don't want mushrooms.
Yeah.
I don't want mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Like, the allure of the flip, JD, is too strong, right? That's why PSA is PSA. I mean, we see it all the time.
It's not, though, right? So, like, you got the set registry, for collectors. 100% agree with that, because it is a 100% collector-driven
market.
No. What's the word? It's a 100% collector driven feature that they created.
Yeah.
That was freaking genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
That I'll tip my hat to all day long.
I still don't understand how
But
SGC hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, whatever. Conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But from there, right? Like, other than that, now if you keep repeating the same narrative over and over and over again,
yeah,
it becomes the truth in your head, right? Because if you tell me, bro, I know you're new in the hobby, here's what you got to do. You got to grade with SGC. You get your cards back in a week, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. And I've never done it before. Okay. Or if I go, I want to get into sports cards and I want to make the most money. What do I do? PSA. All day long. Know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, it's a narrative that has been told for a long, long time now.
Right.
That, like, I get it. Okay. But, like, you shouldn't be, like, I guess my problem is like, if someone's going to take the time to do something and make it right by collectors or whatever, and if people choose to do that and they like it and you like the card and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then who are you to hop in there and make a comment like, your company sucks or this? Or
Yeah.
Go try it. Try it. You know what I mean?
No, I got mad respect for anybody who decides to, like, make a move and do it yourself, right? Like, you know what? These grading card companies suck. All of them are terrible. I'm going to go out and do my own thing. And I'm going to do it a certain way. And I'm going to make sure that I take care of my customers. And I'm going to make sure that we never have an issue. And, you go out and you put that thing together. I mean, it's not easy, right? I mean, any business is not easy,
Nope.
and it takes balls and it takes, a lot of work to get shit off the ground. And and especially, like you mentioned, in a space where the consumer base is not the most open-minded in the world, right? But I do think that the fact that PSA, the juggernaut, literally shut down, gave way to a space where several people could open up new grading card companies, right?
Right. I think, though, the number one beneficiary from all of that was SGC. SGC
100%.
benefited the most from the pandemic of all of these companies.
100%. 100%.
BGS, I lost the most.
They're the biggest loser. Yeah. 100%.
Like 100%. I don't see, you know what I mean? HGA, I think, is another. They used to be. But again,
used to be
stagnation, bro.
Yeah.
When you're not doing anything different, you're making your website the hardest thing in the world to navigate.
For a long time, you couldn't even submit online, right?
No, you couldn't. That was like up until like 5 months ago.
It's crazy.
Like, that's insane.
That that's the number one thing that kept me from ever submitting with them, even for the channel.
Me
even
too.
Do it just for the channel.
I couldn't even figure out how to, like, I'd be like trying to print out the form. I'm printing out the authentication thing. I'm like, forget it.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Once I saw that, I was like, what is this? Sears from the 1990s? Like, this is stupid. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but that's shame on them. Like, because that to me is like, you created something, you made millions and millions of dollars, and then you just sat there and were content.
You rested on your laurels.
You were content,
Yeah.
Where I will say, I do think that when Nat took over PSA and they've made their moves and they've done their different things, they have done things to make themselves better. Now, again, can we sit here and nitpick everything? Sure. But again, if I was at the helm, would I do some of the same things? I'm sure I would. Would I do some things differently? I'm sure I would. But I'm not there to make those decisions. So, like, whatevs. You know what I mean? I move on with my day.
Yeah.
Would I like to see SGC do some different things? Yeah, I would. Yeah. And I think there's like 2 or 3 things they could do that would, I think, even bump them up another level. But that's not for us to decide, right? I think the set registry thing for SGC would be a home run.
Oh, dude. It'd be, yeah, I'm with you on that.
I
I don't even do set registry. Like me personally, I don't even.
KG, a little bit of KG.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Like long, but yeah. I got to get me one of those.
Well, I need to send those. I want to send those to SGC.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to start my own set, like but
you want to be able to do this, right?
Yeah, I want to do my set registry, you know?
Yeah.
I like the PSA set registry, I do. But I want to do it with who I want to do it with, and I can't right now because I don't have that. So Pete, if you're listening, bro, let's get the set registry going.
Let's get that cracking.
But anyway, I don't even know how I get on that topic. I think it's because I'm sick and I'm aggravated.
You started off with FCG, which I'm looking at their website right now, and funny enough, they're in South Lake in Texas, which is like literally a couple hours from me, which is interesting. Again, here's what I see with like these companies, and again, don't get me wrong, they're $14 a card, no upcharge. No charge for autographs or subgrades. If customer orders, so they got a money back guarantee. If customer orders don't ship within 10 business days from the time they are received at our office, customer is eligible for a money back guarantee. They give you your money back. They only send you your cards out in 10 days. They give you your money back.
Yeah. No charge for subgrades, bro, is an innovative thing, right? BGS, it costs more.
Let me see what centering. So they're looking at centering. Yeah, I mean, look, again, this is my point, right? My point is that if these guys are doing well and they're getting submissions and they have a following, then that's great, man.
Right.
That's great.
Right.
I don't, in where we are right now in the grading space, with PSA being at $15, SGC being at $18 if you can get up to the 50 cards, CSG practically at $12, $12 or $13, and then BGS, God knows, I'm not even counting BGS.
They're like 25, I think,
something like that. Yeah, I don't see there being much room for growth.
Right. All right. So that was my point. My question. The answer
for any of these other
you don't
smaller
see
companies, right?
You don't see a lot of room. I'm with you, right? But I do think, again, going back to the bigger picture, real high level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If the sports card industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry,
Kobe,
and let's say card grading is a $1 billion industry,
yeah, and you got 1%,
1% of that,
yeah, is
still pretty damn good.
100%, bro. I agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. Right, like let's say FCG has 2% of the market, and it's a $1 billion market, and you got maybe 3 or 4 guys doing the job, and they're the ones that are running everything, and they're turning a profit, and they're profitable. Hey, man, more power to you.
Yeah,
that is hard to do. It's hard to start a business and be profitable.
Yep.
Right,
and we know all about it.
We know all about it. Right, and if you're servicing your customers well, and those customers are happy with you, then what you have to hope for is that they are being your prophets and going, hey, these guys over here, man, check these guys out. Check these guys out. Yeah. Maybe PSA just pissed you off, and you're like, you know what? I'll give these guys a shot. My buddy over there has been grading with FCG forever, and he's just ranting and raving about them all the time. I got these 5 cards. I'll give them a shot and see what's up.
Yeah.
Right. And then maybe they win a customer, maybe they don't. Right.
Right.
But like that's a beautiful thing if you can do that. Right now in this space, I think any new grading company that opened up within the last 2 years and established a name for themselves and established a following, I feel like that's where they're going to be. And if they're profitable now, then they'll probably stay profitable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think by the end, this time next year, you're really going to see who's here to stay and who's here, who is a pretender.
Yeah, agreed.
1 year from today, you'll know. PSA is not going anywhere.
PSA
BGS isn't really going anywhere. SGC is not going anywhere, and CSG is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now the other ones, the HGAs, FCGs, whatever else is out there, tags, RCG, whatever. We'll see, right?
There's another one called like Mamba grading, and then there was another one.
Yep,
dude. And this might be something I might end up doing as just like a whole video, is kind of go over some of these oddball ones. But there was one that I saw at the Dallas Card Show with a diamond slab. Have you seen that one?
No.
Literally, the slab is not like a slab, bro. It's like a whole diamond. It's like it's super weird.
Well, what are you supposed to do with that?
Dude, I don't know. Diamond.
That's what I'm saying. Like
company.
Like if you got I reinvented the wheel on slab shape. I don't know if that's really the way to go, but what do
I'm trying to find. It was I've never seen anything like it before. But look, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of companies out there that I don't even know about.
Yep.
And like I said, every time I do a video on a new company where I'm reviewing their slab, I get about 5 or 6 of them in my comments, and everybody's like, "Check this one out, check that one out."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
too many. Too many. There's too many, but I think again, like I said, this year will be telling. But all right, I want to talk about another thing. This has been on my mind, and we can maybe continue this into next week too, because this one could probably go on for hours. Are there 2 different resale markets? Is there the PSA market and then everybody else? Or is it just one market? And because here's the thing, right? We have Card Hedge. We track all the different slabs, the major grading companies and raw cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's clearly a difference in resale value between PSA and everybody else.
Right.
So should PSA be moved into their own category, or should that be the mainstream? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because when we're basing resale value on a card, I think you have raw. So this card is going to do whatever it's going to do, okay, based off market demand.
Yep.
And then you have graded, but generally everybody's referring to, because it's the majority grader, PSA values.
Right.
And then everybody else over here has to kind of figure out where their card, same card, but because it's in a different slab, they got to figure out where that fits.
Yeah.
So how do we make a more consistent market? That's $1 million question.
Dude, you got me speechless. So that's a damn good question. Right? Here's my problem. My problem is that market value on a card is based on the slab that it's in, right? And I'm totally okay with that.
Yep, same.
Because the slab that it's in is going to be unique to the company that graded it.
Yep.
And that company that graded it should be held at a much higher value if the company that graded it is a good grading company, right?
Well, what's a good grading company?
There you go, Big Papa. That's the question, right? That's the question.
So the hobby, the space, the industry,
I think they got it wrong.
But overwhelmingly, right now,
it's PSA. Yeah,
is the market barometer.
Yes,
right. So
it's what because they pay so much for PSA cards and PSA slabs. The market is basically saying that every other grading company should aspire to be like PSA.
Yep.
PSA is the standard. They are the gold standard of grading cards, and every other company that is not in a red and white slab should aspire to be like PSA. And I think that is completely asinine. Because I don't think PSA, but because PSA is not the best grading company. But they're not the most accurate. They have horrible customer service. They got an ugly slab. That it's not. It's just not. One of those things is objective, but none of those things are factored into the fact that for the PSA 10 Zions that we just bought at $150, we could have bought in a SGC 10 for $75.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute. No. Because SGC, in my opinion, is a better grading company.
But here's the thing: you could buy it in a BGS for $75.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So insert. So if you had a line going across the screen and you had the PSA, let me get this going here, because it's something that intrigues me. Like, is it something that's needed? Is it something that, just I'm crazy talking? I don't.
Actually, you know what? I said $75, but $120. That's not bad, actually. We paid $150 for the PSA 10s, and SGC 10s are going for $120. So not bad. Way more transactions though.
So can I? I can't share my screen. Can I?
You should be able to.
Let's see.
Let me see something.
I got it. I'm in.
You got it?
All right. You see my screen?
I do now.
All right. So CSG 10s. There are no Zions.
That's so funny. I pulled up the exact same thing.
There are no Zions. So bye-bye. Can't compare.
In a what? In a CSG? Okay, yeah, no.
CSG 10, there's none. Okay. Yeah. Now, here you've got the purple is PSA, the blue is SGC, and then this like violet or whatever is BGS. So, all right, you come along here, and let's just come down to the end, because that's kind of all we really care about. 159.08, 95, and 93.
$60 difference.
So, what is that, right? Hang on.
It's a $60 difference. It's what, 80%? Or no?
It's like 60%.
Yeah. Yeah, 60%.
So,
exactly.
Is that the standard that we're willing to take now? Is 60%?
So hover back to the end there, right? What the market is saying, right there. What the market is saying is that because that Zion was graded with PSA, their grading practices, their slabs, their guarantees, their whatever it is that PSA is adding to that card is 60% more valuable than anything that SGC or BGS is going to add to that card, right? That's the difference, right? The difference is that the market is saying PSA, we're willing to pay 60% more for a PSA case, for a PSA slab, for whatever reason, because we think that PSA is better. That's what the market is saying.
So you're telling me that a PSA slab, because this, with going by these numbers, is essentially 1.7 times more valuable than a BGS 9.5 or an SGC 10. This has been, but the market. So I'm gonna stop sharing because I don't need to share anymore. How do I do that? Stop. So that's been consistent.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed. Sure, you can get, outliers here and there, and, people can post, I get this and whatever. Okay, cool, bro.
Yeah.
But overall, do we start to like I think there needs to be some clear like numbers put to if you submit your card to company B, C, D, that's not PSA, your max return is going to be this. That to me would alleviate a lot of frustration. You know what I mean? Because like you get people all the time going, no, SGC slabs don't sell. This doesn't sell. You got to go with BGS. But like by that, I why would I put my card in BGS? Because it cost me $7 more. So my profits are going to be less if I flip it. And
it's probably going to take me 3 months to get it.
Yep. So I either go with PSA for the most, right? If I want to maximize, get full market value of whatever the market is dictating. Or do I drop down and I say, you know what? I don't really care. I want my cards back. I want to just do this kind of weekly, blah, blah, blah.
I think you kind of just answered your question right there. Because you said, hey, this is going to go for this goes for X amount market value. But market value for what? Right?
That's
market value for PSA. Right? It's like cars, right? Ferraris are always going to sell more if the Ferrari's red.
Sure.
Right? You're not going to get the same amount of money for a black Ferrari than you would a red Ferrari, especially a red one with the cream interior, tan interior. That's quintessential Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a yellow one, that the yellow one is the next one, right? And then after that, it's like everything else is kind of like, you know,
right?
You're kind of whatever, you know. But red is where it's at. That's
red Testarossa, baby.
So red has its own market value. Yellow has a next market value, which is probably 80% of the red, and then pink, purple, yellow, green. They have their market values, which are a X percentage of what the red would be. It's the same situation, right? It just depends on what do you feel like doing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like waiting? Do you feel like getting possibly an inaccurate grade?
But I don't know if it's. But see, I think you're asking the wrong questions. Because to me, whatever the percentage of people that are submitting cards to BGS, SGC, CSG, whatever that is versus PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's 70-30, 80-20, whatever.
Yeah.
If 20% of the industry is into non-PSA graded cards, they've spoken now for a while that they're comfortable, that 20% is comfortable here at this level. So do we start to standardize that a little bit of, hey, here's the deal. It's $18, it's $15, whatever the hell it's going to be, right? You get a 10. It's easiest math. If the PSA is 200, figure out what 60% of that is and list it and move on with your day.
Yeah.
And don't take a penny less.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is that like River kind of already did that, right? If you think about it, because if you pull up card prices on Card Hedge, whenever you look up a card, the first three prices that you're going to get is a PSA 10, PSA 9, and raw. Right. So, and even though I don't like PSA, I think that's accurate. You want to know what your card's worth? It's either a PSA 10, PSA 9, or raw.
Yep.
Because the majority of people don't care what an SGC
they're buying,
10.
right? Yeah.
They don't care about a BGS 9.5. They don't care about CSG 10. They don't care about any of that.
Right.
Show me the biggest, show me the least, and show me the next step down. Next step down being the PSA 9.
Yeah. Yep.
But to your point, let's say we want to standardize, right? That to me, that's money. Those three. What's it worth raw? What's it worth in a PSA 10, which is the maximum? And then the next step down from a PSA 10 is going to be an PSA 9. And that PSA 9 is probably going to be right on par with either a SGC 9 or a SGC 9.5.
Yeah, more so. So, and that's another thing, right? People always, I should say not always, but I get a lot of people that message me and they're like, how do you sell your SGC 9.5s? And my response is I figure out either A, are there any recent sales? Duh. Or B, if there aren't any, I look at PSA 9s. What did they last 3 or 4 or 5 do? And then I list it 20% over that.
Solid logic, brother.
That to me, because again, it's a higher graded card. It's not a 10. It's a 9.5. So it's a tick better. You get a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's solid logic. Yeah.
You know, but it shouldn't be that difficult. You know, I don't know why people have such a breakdown with that. You know, maybe it's the way society's become of like instant gratification and need things to sell. I've had cards listed now for weeks.
Yeah.
Not even a view.
Yeah.
Not even a view.
I got to do some listing myself, but yeah.
You know, like I don't get like Jaren Jackson Jr. I played that wrong. I thought people were into him. Nobody is. Nobody buys his cards. That Immaculate, I had it at the same damn price as the last sale. Not even a
nibble, huh?
SGC.
But you also got to think about we're in Christmas holiday. I mean, it's the same reason why you didn't.
Yeah, but I go back to what Bobbles was saying in his video he did about he's selling cards. Like, he's selling cards, but he's doing the, you know, he's smart. He's moving cheap cards.
Yeah.
And that's always going to move.
Moving the boat.
But, you know, to me, we'll see what happens, right? Because Christmas is here. You know, hopefully next couple of weeks something gives.
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually why I'm going to start listing. I'm going to start listing. I got maybe about a good 40 or 50 cards that I need to list. And I'm going to do them. I'm off this week. We got a holiday break.
Yeah.
And during that holiday, I'm going to try to get them all in the system. And I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Pick whatever whatever that is. If it's a 9.5, bump it up 20%. You know, it's just the logic, man. And then of course, like, you know, your stuff's best offer, right?
Yeah.
Most of it. Shoot
anything under $100, I kind of like. I try not to, but if I do, you know, it's usually within a little tip for everybody. It's usually within like $20 of the best offer price,
dude. Okay, before we wrap up, we'll end on this point because this is something that just chaps my ass, man.
But hang on though before we wrap up, because this is how we'll know who listens to the end.
Yeah.
The market thing, I think it's worth discussing further. So
I think so too.
Next week.
I
want to do that live next week. So
next Saturday,
next Thursday, whatever, Friday, whatever, we'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll pick it
live.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll. I want people to hop on, and I want to talk about that. Like, where's everybody at?
What's the standard, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We know the standard, but what's the standard for everybody else?
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
All right, so that's that.
So one of the things that, and I'm dealing with this right now on a card on eBay, where the guy's got the card listed for $150. Okay. I made the guy an offer at I think I made the offer at 120. Okay.
Yep.
Instant rejection. All right. I was being a bit cheeky at 120. Fine. Shoot the guy an offer at 130. Instant rejection. I'm like, okay. All right. I like the card at $150, but I don't want to pay $150. So I make another offer because you only get 4 of them, right?
Yep.
I make another offer at 135. Instant rejection. What? Okay. Yeah. So my last and final offer, I throw the offer out at $140. Instant rejection. JD, $10.
How much was it listed at?
$150.
Yeah, see, that's stupid.
Why are you accepting offers?
Right.
Why are you accepting offers?
Yeah.
It's so silly.
Because what people do when they're doing that, they have it auto set to accept at like 145.
Which is dumb.
Dumb. And it just pisses people off. I've had a few of those and
dude, let me tell you something. When I was selling sneakers on eBay, I want to hear all the offers.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a $250 pair of Jordans. If you want to offer me $200 on that day, I may need that $200 and I just might take it.
Right.
Because I want to see all of it. I can't tell you how many times I looked at offer histories on cards. This was before I knew how to properly set those auto rejects, where I was like, damn, I would have taken $30 for that card.
Yeah.
And I had it up for $50 or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have taken $30 for that card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right, bro.
Moral of that story is don't be a scumbag.
Yep. 100%.
Don't auto reject your offers. At least hear them out. Be a decent human being and reject it yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
just set the minimum offer amount. That's all.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Doug. I came into this not really expecting us to have much fire because both of us are coming off some sicknesses, but we brought the heat, brother.
You know why? I'm because I'm sick, so I'm aggravated with stupid crap. So, so I could go on.
Oh yeah, but
I really want to discuss
topic though.
I want to discuss the market thing more.
Yeah, I think we should.
You know,
and you know what though? You know what? That's a perfect opportunity to get River on the channel.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the one. That's the one we're gonna drag him into.
All right.
And tell him like, hey man, you're the Wizard of Oz behind this whole thing. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Right? Because he's in it. He's in the mix.
Yeah, oh yeah. Man, he's smarter than us too. So
way smarter. Way smarter. All right, brother. Well, good shit, man. Thanks everybody for listening. If you guys made it this far, we love you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, brother, and your family. I hope you guys.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all the other little retro hoops out in the world.
Let's go.
Merry Christmas to everybody listening. You know, stay safe. Hope everybody, Santa Claus is good to the kids.
Oh, man. Santa Claus is good to the kids, not to my goddamn bank account, though.
Hell yeah.
We're dropping another one right before New Year. Okay. Yeah, we got another one before the year's out.
Yeah, so. Next week. We're both off, so whatever.
That's right. Yep. We'll get that knocked out. PDQ pretty quick. Pretty damn quick. All right, folks. Thank you guys again for watching. Y'all know what the deal is. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below if you think me and JD are idiots. We'd love to hear from you. We love hearing from you guys. We always appreciate it. Follow JD on Instagram at
JD Sports Cards _401.
JD Sports Cards _401. Your YouTube is JD Sports
JD
Cards.
Sports Cards. Yep.
Link down in the bottom. Appreciate you guys watching. Love y'all. Peace.